I'm Olivia Kyner, and I'm the owner of Noodleoodle Art and Stuff. Before I was in Omaha, I was in the military for a little over 3 years. I was medically discharged, and I decided that then would be a perfect time to pursue my dream, I guess, of having my own little pottery studio, which I have now. It started out as making plushes after I coerced my husband into letting me get a whole bunch of fabric to play around with it. And then when the first plush actually came out really nice, he saw the profitability in it and decided that we were just going to take off from there. And that's where it all started. So I was doing that for a couple years. And then when you guys reached out to me about moving into Elevator, it was the perfect opportunity to actually expand into pottery studio. So that's where we're at now. And I guess when I was in high school, my teacher saw the skill behind what I was doing and pushed me to continue in this field before I was accepted into the military. That was the plan, actually, was to go into an art school, but I had already signed on with the military before I had gotten all of these scholarships from art schools. It was a frustrating time. I wanted to play around with making a plush because I just like playing around with sculpture, and plushie making seemed entertaining. So I found a reference of something that I wanted to make and ran with it. Made my own pattern, made my own plush, and that was the first one that came out decently well. The pottery stuff has been, honestly, it's been my favorite thing since I was really little, when my mom signed me up for my first class at Venus in Colorado, and I was 8. I only got to do one class that was for a week, so I ended up with 3 pieces to take home, and I think my mom still has them. I didn't get to play around with it again until I was in high school, and I didn't think I'd ever get to play around with it again. And then when I went to high school, my sophomore year, I found out that we had a sculpture class that part of it was learning how to wheel throw. So I got another opportunity to dive headfirst into it, and when my teacher saw that I kind of had this natural knack for it, she just let me keep going with it. My husband and I sat down trying to think of if I started something, what would it be called? And Noodleoodle sounded funny. It's funny. It's cute. And then there's the hand-drawn logo, which I've told you guys before, but slowly transitioning to be just Noodleoodle Ceramics, moving away from the plushes. If someone needed something that was just something real out there, I'd probably be able to do it. I would not have been able to start this pottery studio if I hadn't moved in here. In the 2 years before I moved in here, I had all of the pottery stuff. I had a kiln, I had a wheel, I had everything set up to be in our garage. And then we found out that we probably wouldn't be able to install the outlet in our garage to supply enough power for the kiln. So all the stuff just sat in the garage for forever until we were able to kickstart it. And then last year in October, I was reached out to by Levi, and he mentioned that this building was going to be opening. It was going to be a whole co-warehousing thing where all sorts of things could be here, and it sounded like the perfect opportunity to jumpstart the pottery studio. Being able to utilize the classes and the meetups that have been going on at Elevator, especially the photography one, that's been a huge help with figuring out how to exactly photograph the pottery, the plushes, to make them look more professional. It's been really helpful to have these resources just to bump my business up to another level, instead of being this kind of pseudo startup, being an actual business, and making me feel like I could do this. Because before I came here, there was so much doubt in my mind that I couldn't do this. My skills were not going to be valued. It wasn't going to happen. But now that I'm here, it's made it a lot easier to see, the progress I've made, the resources I can use here. Heck, it's really nice having snacks that I don't have to bring myself. As well as I forget to grab myself water almost every day. So it's really nice being able to just walk out and grab it. Oh shoot, heck yeah. Ultimately, just being in the warehouse and in this community, it's made it so much easier to connect to people, to hear from like other businesses that are in here. Heck, I'm next door to a candle company. I mentioned, like, we talked to them, my husband and I, we stopped by and like talked to them when they were moving in and mentioned, like, what if we did a collab of like my pottery with the candles in it? Like, being, instead of it being like the pre-made containers, be like a unique container. And little connections that I've made with all sorts of people in this building. And it's been so helpful because it's resources that I never would have had if I hadn't moved in. Like, it makes me happy. As well as, side note, connecting to the plushes with when we went over to Brunchbox for their soft opening, I was talking to the owner, Stephanie, about possibly doing, like, making plushes of their mascots and doing like classes with them. I like the community aspect of it. The fact that at all times that there's always an easy opportunity to go over and get more information about things that I'm not sure about. Heck, there's been times that I've sat down with you and you've told me about Hutch Fest, about different art, like, fairs that are going on in the area that I didn't even know about. Hutch Fest is a big one. It's been a big push for me to actually start going as a vendor to like craft fairs and farmers markets and stuff. It's made it a lot easier to sell locally, to make a name for myself. So right now, it's mostly just my Etsy shop. I don't have an actual website like for me yet. It's just the Etsy shop online. Otherwise, people could place orders by just getting in touch with me, reaching out on Facebook, on Instagram, emailing me, coming to talk to me in person. Like, I value people coming to me. I value like the personal aspect of it. Honestly, there's a lot of pieces that I am very proud of. A lot of it, I'm still figuring out the colors exactly. Like, as you can see with the planters, there's still a lot going on with figuring out how to get those colors to blend better. There's a lot of pieces that, honestly, my husband came up with. Like, this was his idea to do an elephant teapot. So I guess that's one that I'm really proud of. There's also the curly teapot up here that I'm very proud of, because there have been so many people who have come to me, seen that, and gone, how the heck did you do that? While I pride myself in being able to mass produce a certain size of a mug, there are certain unique things that very much took a lot of effort and are things that I've never seen anywhere else. The goal in the coming months is to get a bigger kiln. Allows for a lot of new opportunities. Along with that, I'm planning on expanding to doing classes once I invest in a few more wheels. It's been proposed as a 6-week course, 1 day a week, just personal classes to learn how to do pottery, which would include clay, firing, the lessons, obviously, and glazing, and then being able to take those products home. I am a veteran, so this has been a really long journey of figuring out what I could do with myself after I got out of the military, because the military really pushes for you to have like one purpose and one purpose only, and then you get out and you're kind of just lost. They can find me on Instagram at Noodleoodle Art and Stuff, which is just all one word, and then Facebook is also Noodleoodle Art and Stuff. Etsy is everything is just Noodleoodle Art and Stuff, but there's Facebook, Instagram, Etsy. There's my email, which is just noodleoodleartandstuff@gmail. Instagram and Facebook are going to be the big ones. I put as much effort as I possibly can into making sure that it is known that I'm there. Right now, my Instagram is really small. I'm usually in my warehouse almost every day of the week. I try to shoot for not being here on weekends, but I'm here most every day of the week. The biggest thing that would help is just getting in touch with the local galleries, with local companies that need like unique products, I suppose, like different kinds of different pottery that would be useful in like their small restaurant, having mugs for like coffee, just little things that would ultimately put my name out there, which is the biggest thing right now, is just getting my name out to Omaha and getting it to the point that I'm known in the area. I'm a proud veteran-owned business.